This is CBS2 News This Morning.
Right now, a big step in prosecuting the asylum seekers accused of attacking police officers. And it's happening as there are developments on Capitol Hill to deal with a larger border crisis.
Needless to say, this is a big deal.
It is official. The World Cup final going to be held at MetLife Stadium, and it's not just soccer fans who have reason to celebrate. We are live at the stadium this morning.
And sure, the sun will be shining on MetLife, and it's making a big comeback this week for us. We have seen the last of those cloudy skies. More details in our first alert forecast.
Good morning on this Monday, February 5th. I'm Chris Wright.
I'm Mary Calvi. Welcome to CBS 2 News This Morning. First alert weather team standing by. Tony Sadiku is live at Central Park this morning. But first, let's get started with John Elliott, 5:30 right now.
Hey, thank you, Mary. Hi, everybody. Thank you for finding us on this Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend. There's about a 13-degree temperature spread around the area, and it's chilly out there, from 20 to 33. 20 in Walden. We have 23 in Matawan, 29 in Mahwah, 30 in Armonk. Feels like 20, though. See, we've shaved off 10 degrees there. There's enough of a breeze that you have to layer up to stay comfortable. 27 is the current wind chill in the city. Your day today, though, another one above normal. Another one with the sun shining. So I wanted to remind you, big story, big weather story is going to be this storm, this atmospheric river, and this area low pressure just battering the West Coast. You know, we've been talking about the Super Bowl, and why not? It is going to be a wet week in Vegas. I mean, a real soaker in Vegas. And the high for the Super Bowl only like 56 for the parties going on around town. Around our area, there's a big ridge of high pressure in control. So numbers stay nice. We are going to see a bit of a dip Tuesday. Tony will talk more about that and the chill that will come in. But again, lots of sun. So nice weather to talk about. How's the traffic doing, Mary?
All right, let's find out. Here's Guy Stanier with the latest 532.
Well, Mary, we have a couple issues to talk about. We're going to start in Englewood Cliffs. An accident with downed power lines has all lanes closed on the northbound side of Route 9W, right near Charlotte Place. This happened around 5 o'clock last night. The southbound side is taking two-way traffic. Over to Queens, an accident with an overturned vehicle. There's 2 lanes blocked on the northbound Cross Island Expressway right near Jamaica Avenue. And in Brooklyn, a crash has 1 lane blocked on the northbound Gowanus Expressway at the Belt Parkway merge. Delays here back to Bay Ridge Parkway. Alternate side parking is in effect today citywide. Chris and Mary, back to you.
Guy, thank you. Charges could be coming after 2 NYPD officers were attacked by a group of migrants in Times Square. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg now preparing a case for the grand jury.
This comes as a bipartisan Senate agreement on immigration is now facing stiff resistance from House Speaker Mike Johnson. CBS 2's Elijah Westbrook has more from the newsroom. Elijah?
Chris and Mary, Speaker Johnson is calling the deal dead on arrival. If passed, the deal would give the president the power to significantly restrict illegal migrant crossings at the southern border. It comes as the Manhattan DA hints there could be an update soon as he prepares to present charges in January's Times Square incident. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg is now getting ready to present charges to a grand jury after 2 NYPD officers were attacked by a group of migrants in Times Square. As the case stands, only 1 suspect is in jail. 5 others were arrested last week for second-degree assault, but released on their own recognizance prior to them boarding a bus for the Mexican border, according to police sources.
We don't want to paint the entire community with a broad stroke here. Immigrant communities continuously are the backbone not just of our local economies.
It comes as Manhattan DA Bragg says his office is collecting more video evidence showing the migrants involved in the attack. While that effort continues, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer plans to bring up a vote on a bill that will work to increase enforcement at the border. Republicans joined Texas Governor Greg Abbott over the weekend, voicing their concerns about the ongoing crisis.
If somebody makes it across the border illegally, the president has the responsibility imposed by Congress to detain any illegal immigrant who's come here.
Independent Arizona Senator Kristen Sinema, who helped craft the bill, urged compromise.
Members of the House, including Speaker Johnson, will have had ample opportunity to read, understand the bill, and ask questions, and watch our debate in the Senate. And then they get to make a choice.
Though approval hangs in the balance, if passed, the bill would be the first major update to the U.S. immigration system since the 90s. And we do want to mention that some community and clergy leaders here in New York City plan to express their outrage over the recent assault on the NYPD officers by a group of migrants. They're calling on these suspects to be deported and for city leaders to denounce their actions. The group says it plans to rally outside of City Hall at around 10:30 a.m. Chris?
Okay, Elijah, thank you. The Red Cross now helping residents who were displaced by a house fire in Bayonne, New Jersey. Here's some of the new footage from that incident from the Bayonne Fire Department where you can see this flame spreading. The fire started around 9 p.m. last night inside a multifamily home on East 44th Street. It quickly grew to 4 alarms. The cause of the fire is not yet known, and there are no word yet of any injuries.
5:35, community groups rallied against a proposed homeless shelter in Rego Park, Queens.
No more shelters! No more shelters! No more shelters!
Cool. Dozens of people gathered in front of the Wyndham Garden Hotel this weekend where the new shelter opens. As many as 100 single men would be housed. Their neighbors say the new shelter is about a mile from another homeless shelter. Say it's also on the same block as a community center and in close proximity with 2 elementary schools.
We're not saying that individuals are not entitled to housing. We want them to have housing. We just want the city and the administration to be a little more strategic in how they place these shelters.
We reached out to City Hall for comment and are waiting to hear back.
Well, early voting continues today in the special election to replace disgraced Congressman George Santos, who was expelled from office. The race is for New York's 3rd congressional district, which covers parts of Queens and northern Long Island. The Democratic candidate is former Congressman and former Nassau County Executive Tom Suozzi. The Republican candidate is Nassau County Legislator Mazi Pilip. Early voting runs through February 11th. Election Day is Tuesday, February 13th. We have profiled both candidates leading up to Election Day. To hear from them, go to CBSNewYork.com.
5:36, there is excitement in our area this morning after a major sports announcement.
The 2026 World Cup final is coming to MetLife Stadium, and it's expected to have huge impact on the local economy. CBS 2's Christina Fan joins us live from East Rutherford with more on this announcement. Christina?
Chris and Mary, good morning. New Jersey beat out stadiums in Dallas and Los Angeles for this honor. MetLife Stadium will now be hosting a total of 8 matches, including the coveted final. FIFA officials made the announcement Sunday afternoon. Governor Phil Murphy was right here at the stadium attending a watch party when that announcement came down. The 2026 World Cup is being called one of the largest sporting events ever, with 3 host countries, 16 host cities, and a total of 104 matches. All of the excitement will now culminate right here in New Jersey for the final. Economists say while it's still 2.5 years away, preparations are expected to begin immediately.
Games in the final is a lot of economic impact, a lot of visitors and tourists coming to our region, and we start tomorrow making sure we're going to put our best foot forward.
And MetLife Stadium will also be adopting a new venue name for the World Cup. It will be called New York, New Jersey Stadium for the duration of the tournament. Officials say the event is expected to bring $2 billion in revenue to this area and also generate about 14,000 jobs. Reporting live from East Rutherford, New Jersey, Christina Fan, CBS 2 News.
Christina, thank you. 5:38 right now, and stay with CBS 2 News. We'll bring you complete coverage from here until the World Cup, on air and streaming on CBS News New York.
And over 2 years of coverage coming your way. All right, we're just under a week away from the Super Bowl.
Plenty of coverage on that, too. Yeah. Coming up, we are live in Las Vegas with how the city and the teams are preparing for the ultimate matchup. And now let's get over to meteorologist Tony Sadico in Central Park this morning. Good morning, Tony.
Merry Chris, good morning. Weather in good shape to start, but it is chilly out the door. Make sure we're dressing for the 20s, the coats. First thing, you'll want the sunglasses later. Overall, it's a much needed break from what's been an unusually wet winter. We'll talk about how long we keep the rain at bay in your first alert forecast coming up next.
Good morning and welcome back to CBS 2 News this morning, 5:42 on this Monday, the 5th of February. Nice clear morning out there for you. Let's get over to John Elliott with your first alert forecast. Check in with those weather watchers this morning. Hopefully they all had a good weekend.
Oh, I got it. Some of these sun shots are just spectacular, and that's what we count on. Weather watchers also lamenting And Tony's going to talk more about this, too. These observations are in the 20s. Wind chills are in the teens. It's warmer in and around the city, but you're still dealing with just enough of a breeze where you kind of feel that biting chill. So I want to do this right because it is National Weather Person's Day, so I appreciate Jeanette reminding me of what I look like. But it's National Weather Person's Day, so as we celebrate, like the groundhog gets all the love on Friday, and then it's our turn today. This is great from Michael. Look at his sweetie. Hat in the morning, smile all day long because of this. Sunshine, sunshine. Love that. Sunset over the weekend, just spectacular with the silhouette of those bare trees yearning for spring. But let's talk about how cool it is, man. These are wind chill observations and widespread in the 20s. I mean, widespread in the 20s. And again, it's cool in New England. The day-to-day comparison, though, there's actually still some warm air on the move. We retreat a bit today and tomorrow as we're in a kind of a cool pocket, but it's nice over the next few days. Just brilliant today. 44, a little cooler than it was yesterday. Morning chill gives way to midday sun. Nice for after work and after school activities. It's definitely a touch cooler tomorrow, so that means tonight cold into your crisp Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, just bright again, really comfortable, and then we're going to wrap up the week with numbers well above normal. Today's still above normal. The normal high is 40. We're going to go for 44. Sunny and breezy, absolutely, but traveling around the area, if you've got a trip to take up into the Hudson Valley, Connecticut, into New England, down to Baltimore, Philly, or D.C., you're in great shape. Now remember, tonight it's going to be clear and cold, and with any kind of breeze, it'll feel even colder. But look at how quiet and wonderful our week is. Want to send it out on National Weather Person's Day to meteorologist Tony Sadiku, who I'm sure people keep coming up giving you gifts on this special day. But what about this California storm, and what kind of impact could we see in our area from all that nasty weather?
Hey, good morning there, John. I don't know if this is a gift-giving holiday, but I guess we got some nice weather here from Mother Nature. The sunshine here locally, as you mentioned, can't say the same for our friends out west, where it's just been a mess. I just want to go to the graphic to show you. You've seen videos, of course, and we'll show you more at 6 o'clock. But in terms of the reports, my goodness, they've been walloped. Oh, just over the last 24 hours, you see it there. The blue, that's the wind reports. The other ones, that's the flooding, where they're reporting winds upwards of 80 miles per hour, enough to cause some power outages. The flooding rains that have stranded drivers. Water rescue crews have been out in place with additional rainfall on the way. Some projected to get more than a half a foot of rain by the time the system is all said and done. You see the rainfall totals there through Tuesday, and the system is just stuck. We've been talking about this blocking pattern. It's like a traffic jam. So it rains, and then it rains some more. There is a connection for us down the road. You see the system there finally getting dislodged as the pattern breaks up. By Friday, a much weaker version of this could bring us some rain with some associated moisture down the road late Friday into Saturday. The moisture with that very limited, so this is not going to be a huge player for us. We'll keep an eye on it though going forward. But John, Chris, Mary, for folks here in Central Park, there is not a weather worry in sight. There's no rain. Folks that we've seen out here have been just out enjoying the nice chilly weather. It's about 32 degrees, so it is cold and certainly something to dress for. But weather dry, at least through Friday, guys.
So great to be able to have day after day after day where you can make some plans and get out there.
I can't remember the last time we had something like this.
Oh, we have that
string. Okay.
And in Central Park, no snow for like over 2 years, right? So it's a safe place to be. All right. Thank you, Jenny.
First alert traffic right now. Here's Guy Stanier, 546.
Thank you, Mary. We're going to start in Englewood Cliffs. An accident with downed power lines has all lanes closed on the northbound side of Route 9W, right near Charlotte Place. This happened around 5 o'clock last night. The southbound side is taking two-way traffic. Just across the river in the Bronx, a crash has 2 lanes closed on the northbound Major Deegan at Fordham Road. Delays here back to 179th Street. And in Queens, an accident with an overturned vehicle has 2 lanes blocked on the northbound Cross Island Expressway at Jamaica Avenue. Alternate side parking is in effect today citywide. Chris and Mary, back to you.
Guy, thank you. 5:47 right now. In our Health Watch, researchers at Duke University have made a new discovery about how the HIV virus attacks human cells. They've recorded an ultra-fast movement by the HIV virus that begins the infection. The structure snaps open and shut on the human T cell in just a few millionths of a second. Duke officials are hoping this discovery will lead to an antibody that prevents the virus from opening.
Well, and a new study finds people with mild COVID-19 infections are likely to develop sleep issues. Vietnamese researchers looked at more than 1,000 adults who didn't need to be hospitalized. 76% reported experiencing insomnia. 22% said their symptoms were severe. Rates of insomnia were higher for people with anxiety or depression.
5:48 countdown is on to Super Bowl 58. Las Vegas hosting football's biggest night for the first time ever, and the City of Sin is going all out to make sure fans have a great experience.
A week's worth of events kick off tonight with opening night. Jared Hill joins us live from Vegas with more this morning. Hi, Jared.
Hey, good morning, Chris and Mary. Having a good time in Vegas? Not a problem. Having too much fun in Vegas potentially could be one. Still, though, the city is gearing up for a really big week here. Tonight is opening night, the first time for fans to see the players before the game, also get a feel for what this city has to offer. The San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs arrived in Las Vegas last night, ready to do battle on the gridiron this Sunday. They're the newest arrivals among the 500,000 people expected to pour into this city for the big game.
Excitement is palpable within this destination.
Besides the game on the field, folks can enjoy the playground that is Las Vegas. From the casinos to betting on their favorite team, sightseeing, shopping, and stadium swimming. The Super Bowl Experience football theme park at Mandalay Bay Casino will let fans of all ages test their skills. While Las Vegas is no stranger to hosting big events and even big Super Bowl celebrations, hosting the game itself is a different beast.
If you're just coming for Super Bowl, then you're going to see what Vegas has to offer on top of that, from the shows to the clubs to the dining to everything else. So those two worlds coming together is going to be pretty special.
It took the NFL more than half a century to invite Vegas to the party.
The stigma is off of Las Vegas. The impact of the spread of gambling and sports betting around the country has really had a significant effect on Las Vegas. Beyond Las Vegas, in terms of the image, it's no longer the case that most people think everybody here is a gangster.
Allegiant Stadium is the smallest NFL venue to date, and ticket prices are soaring. But for some lucky fans, maybe a big jackpot or even a royal flush could lead the way to landing one of those nearly $10,000 seats. All right, so the teams are staying about 20 miles or so away from the Strip itself. They got a job to do. Meanwhile, guys, it's just so interesting to think that 20 years ago, the NFL wouldn't allow Vegas to run an ad during the Super Bowl. Now the city is hosting the big game. Back to you.
It's amazing what legalized sports betting will do. All right, Jared, thank you very much.
There you go.
Well, yeah, you can catch Super Bowl 58 right here on CBS2 and streaming on Paramount Plus on Sunday, February 11th.
It's a bummer that they have to be 20 miles away.
They're going to have enough fun after one of those teams either wins or loses, right?
Time now is 5:50. Up next, it is that time again. Class Act is back in session on Friday.
Stay with us. Coming up right after the break, we will officially announce what school we are headed to next and what makes this school so unique.
Welcome back. CBS News this morning. Another Grammy-winning song, This Is Why, by Paramore, which won Best Alternative Music Performance Band, also won Best Rock Album. We'll have much more on the Grammys in just a few minutes, coming up at 6 o'clock. Right now, though, you need to hear about this weather forecast, and John Elliott has it all for us.
This is why I do leave the house. It'll be lovely. So, and 33 right now feels cooler. Weekend, a recap. Bright and dry. Yes, okay, got that. Next few days, dry, yes. And then maybe that chance of showers Tony was talking about. That's that week in California storm. So how long has it been since we've had this kind of a dry spell? No wagering, please. This is not Las Vegas, but if you're thinking, maybe it was October, you're right. The last 6+ dry day dry spell, or dry day spell, was way back in October, and we are going to see it this week. I mean, after the weekend, we're going to see more of the same. High pressure is in control, so something to look forward to, and this is why you should get out and enjoy it. It's going to be awfully nice, Mary.
John, a story for you coming up right now. 5:54, an update on a missing dog found wandering through an NJ Transit train. The pup was reunited with its owner. We first told you about this story on Friday. The dog followed a stranger onto a train in Montclair and rode the rails for about 30 minutes all the way to Hoboken. The dog does not have a microchip, but police say after getting all the word out and the publicity, the owner came forward. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
All is
right.
well. 5:55 right now. We are excited to announce that this Friday, Chris will be live from Newark for our next class act.
You got it. Newark Arts High School, the very first public arts high school in the country, is our latest stop for our next class act tour. And this school has everything: singing, acting, dancing, TV, cinematography, drama, everything. You seem to be interested in so many things, and it's all offered here. So how do you narrow your focus?
That's a great question. I feel like that's the toughest thing, especially as a teenager, the balance. Being able to balance not only your artistry with so many aspects of that, but also this is also an academic high school as well. So I'm still in the classroom. I'm still trying to house my artistry within so many different trajectories.
Right there, I'm like, you kidding me? These kids are so much smarter than I was back in high school. These kids are super talented, super smart. And this Friday, we're live all morning from Newark Arts High School in Newark, New Jersey. And if you'd like your school to be on our next stop, send in your submissions on our website, cbsnewyork.com. But we're excited, and they're excited.
Big congratulations to them. They deserve this one. 5:56 still had drama at the Grammys. Why one of the night's big winners got arrested at the ceremony.
Yeah, plus the Manhattan DA about to make a big move in the case against asylum seekers accused of attacking police officers in Times Square. You're watching CBS2 News this morning.